Hi students, 12th standard computer application chapter 13 network cabling. In this video we are going to learn about types of network cables. Now let us start.
Network cabling. So here once the basics of computer was invented by Charles Babbage. We know that he is a father of computer. So people started inventing much new technology compatible with the computer. In 19th century, the US military base had much technology to serve weapons and people, but they did not have any technology to send a report from one place to another place. Then slowly the word network grew bigger and bigger. Then the Advanced Research Project Agency Network was invented and the TCP/IP was adopted with ARPANET. So here then the researchers begin to search the networks of network. So the first network was within one computer to another computer. Then it is moved to one place to another place. Then it is one city to another city. Then slowly it grew up and become one as internet. So we all know that internet, it is used to search information and send the information, everything. So the essential service of internet is WWW, that is World Wide Web, and it was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. Internet can be accessed easily from anywhere, but the setting up of the network is a big nightmare. Still, network cables are being used worldwide to produce a faster internet to the people. So the network cables are used to transfer the data from one device to another device. So the main purpose of network cable is it is used to transfer the data from one device to another device. We can share the information. So here we used huge cables are used during the network cabling. So this causes a lot of confusion which cable to be connected, and therefore alternatives to replace this are in process. Now we are going to discuss about types of network cables. There are many types of cables are available in the networking. Here we are going to discuss about 6 different types of cables. Coaxial cable. This cable was invented at late 1880s and it is used to connect the television sets to home antennas. So this cable is used to transfer the information in 10 Mbps, that is megabytes per second. So the cable is divided into thin net and thick net cables. These cables have a copper wire inside and insulation is covered on the top of the copper wire to provide a protection to the cable. So here on the top of the cable, the top of a copper wire to provide a protection to the cable. So these cables are very difficult to install and maintain because they are very big in size. So to carry and replace is very difficult. So the coaxial cable got its named by the word coax. Nowadays, the coaxial cables are also used for a dish TV where the set-top box and television is connected using the coaxial cable only. So here this is the image of coaxial cable, outside insulation and copper mesh and insulation and copper wire. So it is difficult to install and carry. Some of the cable names are Media Bridge 50 feet coaxial cable and Amazon Basics CL2 rated coaxial cables, etc. The second one is twisted pair cables. So it is type of cable with two or more insulated wires twisted together. It started with a speed of 10 Mbps, that is 10 base T cable is used. Then the cable was improved and the speed was higher. Then it went to 100 Mbps and the cable was renamed as 100 base TX. And finally, the cable was improved to 10 Gbps, that is gigabytes per second, and named as 10 G base T. Then twisted cable has 8 wires which are twisted to ignore electromagnetic interference. So the 8 wires cannot be replaced in a single unit as there can be difficult in space. So it is twisted to make it one wire. So we have two types of twisted pair cables. One is UTP, that is unshielded twisted pair. Another one is STP, shielded twisted pair. So the UTP is used in modern cables for internet and they are lower in cost. Installation and maintenance is easy in compared with coaxial cable. And STP is similar to UTP, but it is covered by additional jacket to protect the wires from the external interference. Now see this image. This is the example for twisted pair UTP and STP. So in UTP we used a jacket and a filter and a foil seats, so everything. So this is the image of UTP and STP. Fiber optics. So this cable is different from other two cables. So the other two cables are insulating material outside and conducting material like copper inside. But in this cable, it is strands of glass and pulse of light is used to send the information. Here we used strands of glass and pulse of light because to send the information. They are mainly used in WAN, that is wide area network. So the wide area network that extends to very large distance to connect the computer. One example of WAN is internet. So we all know that. So all over the world we use internet. These cables are placed in deep underground to avoid any damage to the cable. The optic cable uses light to transmit the information from one place to another place. Here we have two types of fiber optic cables, that is one is a single mode and another one is multi-mode. In single mode cables we used for a long distance transmission at high cost, and multi-mode cables are used for short distance and transmission at very low cost. So these optic cables are very easy to maintain and install. USB cables. So the universal serial bus. USB stands for universal serial bus. It is used to connect keyboard, mouse and other peripheral devices. Already we know that. But there are some special network devices is used to connect the internet through the USB called dongles. So the dongle is a small peripheral device which has a compatible of computer broadband with a slim slot in it, and it connects the internet, act as a modem of computer. So we used as a modem of computer. The latest version of USB is USB 3.0. It is used to the data transfer rate is 4.8 gigabytes per second. But USB 2.0 has just 480 Mbps. The next one is serial and parallel cables. So in 1980s and to 1990s, the Ethernet and USB were not developed. In that stage, they used a serial and parallel cables. So then the serial and parallel interface cables are used to connect the internet to the system. So they were sometimes used to connect a PC to PC networking. Before the USB emerged, the system will have both serial port and parallel port. So in olden computers, laptops, we found a serial and parallel port. So here the serial port will send 1 bit at a time and the parallel port will send 8 bit at one time. So the parallel cables are used to connect the printer and other disk drives. So here one of the example for a serial cable is RS232. So it is also called as null modem cable, and here it's just like a crossover cable. RS-232 cable is also used for connecting two computers without modem. So that's why it is called null modem cable. And last one is Ethernet cables. So Ethernet cable is the most common type of network cable, and it is mainly used for connecting the computer devices at home or office. So this cable connects wired devices within the local area network. The main purpose is it is used to share the resources and accessing internet. We can share the resources and we can access internet. So the crossover Ethernet cable is an example of the null modem cable. So this cable is used to join two personal computers or two network devices of the same type. And this cable is used to connect the internet to the system. So this cable works at the speed 10 gigabytes per second and more. So the Ethernet crossover cable is identical on both the ends. So nowadays the routers are being connected through the crossover cable, and it provides the wireless network from local area network. So here the most commonly nowadays we used the Ethernet cables. So these are all the types of cables. So cable, it is used to connect for a network. So here we have different types of network cables, that is coaxial cable, twisted pair cables, fiber optics and USB cables, serial and parallel cables, and last one is Ethernet cables. Thank you, students.